The Vanquish VRD carbon has rocked the crawler's world, and now I've got, for the F10 axles that are in the carbon, I've got the servo relocation and like the motor assembly thing that makes you require like a little outrunner. Well, for the outrunner, we have a revolver motor by Holmes and a Crawlmaster Mini V3 ESC. So I've got this to put in. Let's get to the table. To get this job going, to make this thing as easy as possible, I'm going to remove the transmission and the front axle housing. Just simply take it all off so I can get all this done. And if you have a carbon, that means you built it, right? So you know how to get the stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and get it loose, and let's get started on the actual conversion. To me, in some ways, this is nothing but gold. Oh my God, you can see everything. Look at that. Wow. So what this does is this moves the servo over here, which lowers the center of gravity down on the tube, which is like everything. It's all about center of gravity. Now, the VRD has got a great center of gravity right from the factory. So, but this right here, moving down to here, this is the F10 axle. It also requires some adjustment here. So, shorter arms, different top shaft, all that to bring this back to where we have to put the revolver in here. So that is where we're going to mess around with. But first things first, let's get this adjusted. With the servo out of the way, all you do is take this off and put the new piece on. It's actually pretty simple, and it all just simply bolts in from the back. I mean, if you built one of these, then you already know, right? You got to put a new shorter drag link together, and that will be this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and zip it. And this is your servo mount. Let's get this put on. This brace bolts in right here, and this is it, all bolted in. This thing is really supported well. I got to tell you, underneath, on the sides, this is really in here good. And there it is, mounted up. Now, it does come with spacers, about like 6mm spacers to space it up, but I used some 3mm that I had. So look at this. This is what I want. I want the bottom of the servo to be almost perfectly flat with the bottom of the tube. This gets the servo down just a little bit more, but I'm not afraid to scratch the servo. So we're good. Now this area right here, I saw a guy local, he actually used some JB weld and bridged this. So it's super smooth the way he had it set up. I may do that with this one as soon as I get a metal axle housing. With the Lincoln stock horn put on, it does show a longer horn, and I think it's going to need that, but just keep in mind, the shorter arm gives you better leverage against your wheels and tires. So, and I also want to point out that at full turn, full lock, it actually clears. Oddly enough, it actually clears everywhere, both directions. So, I think I'm just going to try this. If I need a longer arm, I'll get a longer arm. But I'd rather have the advantage, the mechanical advantage, the leverage like this. If you put the longer arm on it, it's going to move this out a little bit, which will line all this up better. It really will. But you'll be, because of leverage, you'll be reducing the effectiveness of the servo. And I want full effectiveness. Oh. The wire is tucked up into here. It's not pinched, it's not kinked. And it's going to come up here, and I'm going to zip tie it to the top link. So that will secure the servo wire. You don't want that wire hanging down here, because you absolutely will destroy it. And that is beautiful, isn't it? Just look at that. It's like gold. And now it's time to shorten this up and install this beautiful purple beast right here, the Revolver 540M 2023 Team Edition 1800 kV. Woo! Big difference. Just like that. And at this point, you get to swap your motor. You get to swap these out right here as well for the shorter ones. And we had to swap out the input shaft, which means we've got to get into this thing a little. Unfortunately, there is no easy way to just simply disassemble it a little bit. You kind of got to go all the way into it. Because of that screw right there. So this one and these bolts right here are out. So let's go ahead and pull this loose. We can get to that top shaft all the way where we need to be. If you've added any shims like I have, make sure you keep everything where it's supposed to be. Okay, this one's out, this one's in. And there we go. Now, the wires coming off the motor were much better over on this side right here. So hopefully everything clears. I got them zip tied up. Everything seems to be meshed up just about perfectly. And now we get to put this little short dude back in there. Look at that. There's not much room there. Maybe about 5 or 6 millimeters at the most. With the transmission being further back, we've got to put this in place. This goes right here into here just like this. The transmission is in place, and now we're ready for the front axle. I have powered this up and centered it. You got to make sure you do that. I'm not a big fan of that, but we'll just have to see how it works. But also with the Holmes ESC, I'm going to put an external 10 amp Castle BEC. Now with the Fusion, you get about 7.4 volts. This is good to 8.6, so I get to volt this guy up. Okay, I got to tell you, this is looking good. I kind of want that longer arm though, but I got full travel. Everything is good. That looks awesome, man. Whoo! That was the install. Now, I'm taking into account that if you have a VRD, then you already know how to get into all this stuff. So I kind of skipped over some parts, but I do have a full build video on this thing, like everything. So you guys can find that, check that out. But the servo relocation, beautiful. That plastic is solid, guys. I mean, really solid. I like that. The motor, we're going to find out how this motor works. Now, this particular ESC, the Holmes, is good to 4S. So it's kind of a big deal here. 4S is becoming normal in this world. And with 4S, I think I can pick up because we went from 2300 kV to 1800. Same pinion gear, but I can now bump up the RPM with the 4S. I think that's going to be a huge thing, and we're going to try it out on 4S as soon as I get to give this thing a drive. But for now, this video is done. I'm going to set up and take it for that drive, and you guys are going to love where I take it. Guys, hope you have a wonderful day. Check that description, use those things, hit that subscribe, ring that bell, and it's Christmas time. Have a candy cane. Catch you later. Guys, you made it to the end. This is awesome. Thank you so much. You guys making it to the end of the video means so much to me. I mean, for real. Consider joining, becoming a member for just $2 a month. That's the cheapest way to go. In the description are affiliate links, eBay, Amazon. You guys know all the stuff on that. But yeah, guys, it means a lot that you're here and you're listening to this right now. And I want you to have a great day.